news this week was about Terence Crawford taking the titles not paying sanctioning fees. What do you think about that? A lot of fans are like divided on that. What do you think?
I see both ways. I see the WBC, I see Terence. They both right, to be honest.
They both right.
They both right in their own ways.
Your career, have you ever had a moment where you had to pay one of these sanctioning fees?
I paid, believe it or not, I paid millions in sanction fees. 6 figures every time.
Danny Garcia has seen every dark corner of the boxing business. Every handshake, every hidden fee, every silent tax that comes with wearing a world title. And now he's stepping into the chaos surrounding Terence Crawford's refusal to pay the WBC's sanctioning fees with a perspective nobody expected. As fans argue over whether Crawford is a rebel hero or a reckless rule breaker, Garcia is exposing the cold financial truth fighters rarely say out loud. Championship gold comes with a 6-figure bill that never stops arriving. For him, this isn't drama, it's lived experience. Years of watching millions evaporate before he even touched the canvas. Years of learning that in boxing, the price of glory is paid long before the first punch is thrown.
Well, I mean, it was the right amount for what I got paid. You feel me? He made so much, so it was like a cap. You can't take out a certain percentage if you're making 50 million. That's crazy.
I said, like fans are
like I said, they both right though. Because he wasn't ranked at 168, but they gave him the opportunity. So they're like, we gave you the opportunity. But he's like, yo, just because I'm making all this money, you can't take all that. So they both right. They really are.
Most fighters are too scared to speak a word against the sanctioning bodies. One bad comment about the WBC or WBA, and you can watch your ranking drop overnight, your title shot vanish, and your payday disappear. But that's exactly what makes Danny Garcia's latest interview with Fight Hub TV so fascinating. He didn't dodge, he didn't sugarcoat, and he didn't pick a side just to ride the Crawford wave. Instead, he leaned back, exhaled, and delivered one of the most brutally honest answers we've heard all week. I see both ways, they're both right, to be honest. At first it sounded diplomatic, like classic media training. But as he kept talking, the truth spilled out. Garcia wasn't protecting the organizations, he was exposing them. He admitted he knows those letters, the ones that show up demanding their slice of the purse before a fighter even steps on the scale. He's lived it. He's fought at the top of the mountain against killers like Errol Spence Jr. and Keith Thurman. And he's paid the invisible taxes that come with carrying a title. And suddenly the narrative shifts from Crawford is being difficult to a far more unsettling question. Is this just how the system works? And have fighters been quietly bleeding money this entire time?
Where Terence Crawford was stripped of his titles because he didn't pay a fee back to the World Boxing Confederation or whatever it is for $300,000. So they stripped his title because he didn't pay them that amount of cash afterwards. And so he's not the champion because he didn't pay them. They stripped him, whatever the case. It seems like really odd timing that this news gets released right now when tomorrow, I believe, there is a conversation happening in Congress about a little bit of an evolution of this or a revival of this particular act. And I know Zuffa is a massive piece of this, but you're not the only ones. There's a lot of boxers that are backing this. There's a lot of people in the boxing business that are backing it. There are retractors, obviously. Can you tell me about what you guys are trying to do and why people would not want you to do it that are in the boxing world?
Of course. So first of all, on the Terence Crawford side, you watched that fight on Netflix on September 13th. Terence Crawford, amazing effort against Canelo, who also had an amazing effort. Terence Crawford unanimously won that championship. So how, in fact, is it 2.5 months later that he's no longer the champion of the World Boxing Confederation because he didn't pay a fee? That would be akin to the Los Angeles Dodgers, whether you're a Dodger fan or not, having won a grueling 7-game World Series in one of the greatest Game 7s of all time. It would be like if Major League Baseball came to them and said, well, you didn't pay us a fee, so you're no longer the World Series champion. It's only in this sport of boxing where you see nonsense.
We see the cars, the chains, the monster purses splashed across headlines. But what we never see are the deductions carved out of a fighter's paycheck. And in his interview, Danny Garcia finally ripped the curtain down. He admitted that over the course of his career, he has paid millions, yes, millions, in sanctioning fees alone, money earned by taking punches to the skull and handed right over for the privilege of holding a leather belt. That jazz adds up, he said, explaining that every time he fought for a title, he was cutting a 6-figure check before he even got to celebrate. And this is where the whole system starts to look insane. Sanctioning fees run about 2 to 3% of a fighter's purse. That's manageable when you're making 50 grand, but when you're Terence Crawford or Canelo Alvarez, when your purse has 8 zeros on it, that percentage becomes highway robbery. Garcia even offered a solution, so obvious it hurts. Cap it. If a fighter makes 50 million, the sanctioning body shouldn't automatically get a multi-million-dollar slice. Charge a flat fee. Set a limit. Respect the fighter instead of draining him. But logic doesn't run boxing. Politics and greed do. And as far as the WBC is concerned, no matter how big the check is, they want their cut every time.
Mauricio, got a lot to say about me not paying him $300,000 plus another 100K something for sanction fees, right? Then he gonna tell me I ain't even apologize. Like, who the fuck you think I am? Well, you better slap your fucking self. I ain't paying your ass shit. Fuck you talking about paying you $300,000. What makes you so motherfucking better than any of the other sanctioned bodies? Huh? Answer that question. What makes you better than the WBO, the IBF, or the WBA? Everybody accepted what I was giving them. But you, the WBC, think that you better than everybody, don't you? So since you, the WBC, and you got the fucking green belt, which don't mean fucking shit. Fucking real belt is the ring belt, which is free, motherfucker. What are you talking about? You want me to pay you more than the other sanctioned bodies because you feel like you better than them. How in the world all the sanctioned bodies agreed to the same amount, but you sit your motherfucking ass up there and say that I need to apologize to you? The fuck? You can take the fucking belt.
While Danny Garcia calmly broke down the economics like a seasoned veteran who has seen every angle of the business, Terence Crawford took the exact opposite approach. He went full scorched earth. If Garcia is the diplomat, Crawford is the revolutionary with a lit match in his hand. The moment the announcement dropped that he was being stripped, Crawford didn't call a meeting, didn't issue a carefully worded statement. He jumped straight onto Instagram and Twitter and unleashed a rant that is going to be quoted for years. He wasn't measured, he wasn't polished, he was raw, furious, and unapologetic.
He petitioned to fight a final elimination bout in super welterweight against Madrimov and remain champion in welter. The WBC supported him. He did not comply with the rules. Then he moves up to super middle and makes the fight of the century, beats Canelo, makes $50 million or around that. The WBC absolutely is not going to charge 3% of such an amount. We made a very clear 0.6%, which is $300,000, with $225,000 going to the Jose Sulaiman Boxers Fund, which is to help former fighters in need. And it is just regrettable. Not even a thank you or I'm sorry, taking a different route, no response. I wish him the best. But this is not. The WBC is huge, it's great, it's about greatness, and I'm relieved to tell you.
Crawford went nuclear, telling the WBC to go _ themselves and making it clear he wasn't paying them a penny more than what he believed was fair. He revealed that he had already offered $180,000, the same ballpark he'd paid the WBA and other bodies. But the WBC allegedly wanted far more, calculating their cut off the monster purses he earned from the Canelo and Madrimov fights. This wasn't a negotiation to them, it was a cash grab, and Crawford made sure the entire world heard exactly how he felt about it.
It's free! It's free! How you love that? $180,000 free. How much your belt cost? I wonder how much your belt cost. Huh? I don't see no receipts on your belt. It's crazy. Y'all be having so much taxes on these belts. You got so you got some nerves. It's crazy that you can sit up there and have all these belts. You know, you got the WBC silver, the WBA intern, the whatever belt y'all got, and you taxing these fighters every time they fight, and you claim that you for these fighters. You're not for these fighters. You probably worse than the promoters. But hey, I wish you the best.
Crawford didn't stop there. He went straight for the heart of the sport and stripped the very thing everyone fights for of its value. He called the iconic green WBC belt nothing more than a trophy, and said the only championship that truly matters is the Ring Magazine belt, the one title you can't buy because it's free and earned with legacy, not invoices. It was a declaration of war, a line drawn in fire. Crawford is essentially saying his name, his greatness, his resume are bigger than the alphabet organizations themselves, and he's betting everything that fans will show up for him, with or without a belt around his waist.
How do you think you rose to that level? Through the ranking system. You get positioned to make that kind of money. I mean, come on, you're 38 years old. You've been paying sanctioning fees for a long time in the past. There's nothing new here. It's nothing groundbreaking. You had no problem when they were ranking you to fucking fight Canelo. It's like my agent getting me a huge movie and he's asking for his 10% commission of all the work he put in. And then I tell him, you know what? Go fuck yourself. How fair is that? I've heard Crawford say many times that he loves the belts, but suddenly the WBC is the enemy and the ring belt is the only one that matters? I mean, seriously, Suleiman has to be rolling in his grave. Literally. I mean, it sounds like you're reading a script or something. Come on, you've been the ring mouthpiece and the chosen one since they came on board 2 years ago. We all know that. I mean, it looks like that monopoly money really got to your head.
Naturally, a disruption this big was bound to rattle the old guard, and that's when Oscar de la Hoya stepped in. The Golden Boy, once the sport's shining superstar and now one of its most powerful promoters, didn't see Crawford's rebellion as bravery. He saw it as ego. In a video that spread fast across the boxing world, Oscar sounded genuinely disappointed, accusing Crawford of disrespecting the very sport that built him. His message cut deep. Did he forget where he came from? Oscar implied that the monopoly money paydays Crawford is finally tasting late in his career have gone to his head, turning what should have been gratitude into arrogance.
Real quick, what do you think about TC and the WBC, him going after, kind of complaining about the sanctioning fees, things like that?
And honestly, bro, and I'm a fighter, right? So I have to pay sanctioning fees and stuff like that. From my understanding, I heard it was from like old past fights. But regardless of everything, you wouldn't be undisputed. You wouldn't get all this stuff without the belts. But also the fighters wouldn't. You wouldn't exist without the fighters, But like I said, I heard it was from past fights. So you got to pay what you owe, man. But I don't know, man. I don't really know what's going on with that.
To De La Hoya, paying these fees is part of the tradition that comes with chasing greatness, and he believes that by tossing the belt aside, Crawford is disrespecting the history of boxing itself, which creates a sharp divide in the public. Is Crawford a selfish star who forgot where he came from like Oscar claims? Or is he a fighter finally standing up to a system that has drained athletes for decades? This is where Danny Garcia's point becomes important, because he added the missing nuance that shows why this isn't just a case of the WBC being wrong and Crawford being right. Garcia reminded everyone that they are both right in different ways and asked why he should defend an organization that has taken millions from him, while also admitting that the WBC gave him the chance to shine. This is the hard truth about boxing. Before Crawford became a $50 million superstar, he was a contender waiting for an opportunity, and the sanctioning bodies are the ones who create those paths. They make the rankings, they force champions to face hungry challengers. And without that system, Crawford might never have earned the belts that eventually led him to the Canelo fight.